Welcome to Wellesley's first ever virtual convocation. Convocation marks the formal start of our academic year, and although we cannot gather together in person to mark this moment this year, I hope we will all feel joined in spirit. Whether you are watching from somewhere on campus or somewhere else in the world, I welcome you.
Welcome to Convocation. When I think about my hopes for this new academic year, I first think about our Wellesley family, united in one spirit and heart that crosses distances and screens. Wherever we may be, let us remember that we are in the presence of our Creator, in the presence of our ancestors, and among friends bound together in a caring community. And so this afternoon, let us pause for a brief moment of reflection and prayer, each in our own way, for the world, the Wellesley community, and for ourselves. Sacred source of all that is good and beautiful and true, we pause to give thanks for all that you have guided us through. We are grateful that we do not stand alone today, that we are united by our common humanity. We ask your presence to be with us as we walk into this new season, unsure of what lies ahead, yet trusting that you go before us. In this strange and unpredictable time that our world, this nation, our college, and our families are navigating, we ask that you remind us that we are still in your care, that while the world seems to move and endlessly shift under our feet, you remain steadfast and your promises to us remain so as well. Help us speak words of life and inspiration to one another in the days ahead. May we support each other with compassion and gentleness as the weeks go by. May we encourage and lift one another as we journey together through this academic year. As we gather in peace, we remember those near and far for whom peace is an elusive hope, and we entrust them to you. Speak to us, we ask, from our many religious, spiritual, and philosophical traditions. Remind us of the ancient guidance you have entrusted us with, in order that we may be agents of healing and restoration in the world. God of all time and all places, be with us now as we gather in joyful celebration. Amen.
Thank you, Dean Marquez. Good afternoon. Welcome to all of you at the start of this most unusual year, Wellesley's 146th. Many of you are here on campus. Many others are scattered around the world. Wherever you are, please know this: all of you have an equal place in our community. A special welcome to the incoming Red Class of 2024, to our 7 new Davis Scholars, and to our 6 new transfer students. We are thrilled to have you among us. Welcome, too, to our new faculty, to our new administrative and union members, and a big welcome back to all of our returning students. To the Yellow Class of 2023, to the Purple Class of 2022, and last but far from least, to the Great Green Class of 2021. Convocation is always an exciting time. The energy is palpable. We revel in our community and in everything to come. All that is true now, but there's also something more. The simple fact that we are here today is itself a triumph. So many have worked tirelessly to bring us to this point: faculty, staff, alumni, students, and countless friends and allies. You have my gratitude and deepest admiration. We start this year as a blended community. Some of us are remote, and some of us are here on campus. I speak to you today from Alumni Hall. While you may not be here physically, you are very much here in spirit. Now, this is a moment of great loss and challenge. I don't need to tell you that. At the same time, it's been a time of inspiration and opportunity. It's been a time of innovation. Now, these may be less obvious, but they are no less real. The Indian writer Arundhati Roy has this to say: historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. This one is no different. It's a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our avarice, our data banks, and dead ideas, our dead rivers and smoky skies behind us. Or we can walk through lightly, with little luggage, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. Ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. That's where we are today. Over the summer, I heard so many inspiring stories about Wellesley students and alumni. Faced with hardships and disappointments, you found new ways to serve and double down on your commitments, in many ways finding purpose through chaos. Spurred by the continued police violence against Black men and women, millions of people, including many of you, took to the streets to affirm that Black lives matter. Just last week, thousands marched on Washington, D.C., while protests raged in Kenosha, Wisconsin, after the tragic shooting of Jacob Blake. While none of us would support violence, these protests are unprecedented both in scope and scale, and this year their spirit will infuse our work towards enhanced diversity, equity, and inclusion, and eradication of structural racism and bias on the Wellesley campus. And just last month, Kamala Harris became the first woman of color who is Black and South Asian, a daughter of immigrants, on a major party's presidential ticket. In her acceptance speech, she paid tribute to those who paved the way, women and men who believe so fiercely in the promise of equality, liberty, and justice for all. In all of this, I find so much hope. Of course, there's darkness, but there is also light, and our job now is to extend that light. In a wonderful essay collection called The Book of Delights, author Ross Gay poses this compelling question: what if we joined our sorrows? What if that is joy? There's so much wisdom in this. In a time when joy may feel in short supply, we are called on to get creative, to mine our shared humanity for its hidden riches. Last spring, when everything hung in doubt, I wrote that hope is an action. And what I meant by this is that to move from hope to reality, we must do the footwork. Today, I challenge all of us to unite in that effort. And two words come to mind: flexibility and grace. So many people are hurting, and now is the time to go that extra mile, to say, I love you, or thank you. Let's commit to doing all we can to champion and to support each other. Only together can we become who the world needs us to be. Now, this year marks the centennial of the 19th Amendment, which removed barriers to voting for some, though not all, women. Black women and men would wait decades more, and the job is still unfinished. We are now at a grave risk of losing ground. The U.S. elections take place in just 2 months and a day from now. If you are eligible to vote, now is the time to be sure to have a plan in place. Now is the time to check with friends to ensure they have one too. Last year, I learned that just over half of eligible Wellesley students, about 52.3%, voted in the consequential 2018 elections. Yes, Wellesley students usually vote in numbers higher than our peers, but we can do better. We must do better. So please make this a personal mission. Do your part. Get active in the Wellesley Votes campaign, which you'll hear more about soon. So this will be a year unlike any other, but for all the challenges that lie ahead, I could not be more hopeful about the power of our community. Physical distance is no match for the power of our bonds. Whether we're 6 feet or many miles apart, we are ever, always Wellesley. I know that you will rise to the moment as you always do. Together, we can build a better world. And this is what hope looks like. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andy Shannon. I hope you can hear me through this mask, and I hope my glasses don't fog up. This is the 18th convocation that I've participated in as Dean or as Provost. Today's ceremony is in so many ways like no other. Convocation is literally the calling together of our community. But today, sadly, we're not able to gather face to face. I wish I could greet my colleagues in person. I wish I could welcome in person the entering Red class of 2024 and welcome back the classes of 2022 and 2023. Above all, how I wish I could look out on the extraordinary green class of 2021, resplendent in the gowns that you will wear at commencement next spring. Convocation marks the dawn of a new academic year. Today doesn't feel like the start of something, though. It feels like the middle of something. The middle of a momentous effort by our entire community to live out our educational mission in the midst of pandemic. Just to be here, we have already had to overcome so many challenges. We've already had to plan and prepare like never before. We have already, each of us, had to do so much thinking and soul-searching on Zoom calls, around kitchen tables, with our colleagues, with our families, with our friends, in the quiet of our own thoughts. The faculty has had to reimagine and reorganize our curriculum. The administration has had to reconfigure our campus spaces, rethink the routines and practices of our residential life, and support students and faculty all around the world. Wellesley students, whether you're studying remotely or on campus, have had to adapt to change in every aspect of your college experience. We wouldn't be here today if we hadn't already persevered, if we hadn't already collectively shown our commitment to the work of discovery and empowerment we do together. Convocation has often been a moment to look to the history of our college for inspiration in meeting the challenges of the present. But in our history, there is no analog to the challenges that we face now. We experienced a different pandemic a century ago, but we have never experienced a year in which half the college is here and half is with us remotely. At this convocation, then, I draw more inspiration from the present than from the past. I draw inspiration from the sense of community that we have witnessed among faculty and staff these past 6 months. When we have met in meetings and webinars this spring and summer, we have gathered virtually in far larger numbers than we've ever gathered in person. Like any group of dedicated colleagues, we critique one another and sometimes frustrate and disappoint one another. but we have expressed appreciation and solidarity more wholeheartedly than ever before. We have shared sacrifices. And in responding to this emergency, we have worked collaboratively in a way that I, at least, have never experienced. In the process, we have discovered a deeper sense of our interdependence, and we will not be able to unlearn it. I draw inspiration from the intensity with which, in this summer of national reckoning, students have raised again the college's responsibility to advance the goals of racial justice, equity, and inclusion. I draw inspiration from the urgency with which our faculty and staff have responded. In conversations sponsored by Dean Nunez and Dean Jeffries, dozens and dozens of colleagues from across the college have expressed new determination to bring structural change to our teaching and to our curriculum and campus life. I draw inspiration from the resourcefulness with which we have changed the way we work, the way we teach, and the way we learn. The switch to remote instruction has necessitated experimentation on a scale and at a pace that we have never witnessed. Our faculty have been superbly supported in that effort by library and technology services and by the leadership of the PLTC, and have spent the past months sharing and refining their ideas about teaching in this new mode. We have dissolved the boundaries between campus and world, and our academic program will be permanently transformed for the better. And I draw inspiration from the other kind of teaching and learning, the kind that began here on campus this week. Why are more than 100 Wellesley faculty learning to lecture through masks, adapting to all kinds of inconveniences in their classrooms? Why are more than 1,000 students here on campus studying with those faculty, dealing with those same discomforts? Because that is the education that Wellesley has practiced for 150 years, and that is the education we believe in. Face-to-face, personalized, residential, attentive to each individual's interests and voice. My message at the start of this year is simple. We know how to do this. We know how to do this. By collaborating and by counteracting the isolation that pandemic causes. By seizing the opportunity that this moment affords to make progress towards our profoundest goals. By being unafraid of innovation. By standing up for the educational model that is currently challenged by COVID, but to which we remain committed for the long haul. Yes, we are in uncharted territory, but let's not be daunted by that. The Wellesley classes that are here now have an opportunity to set an example for all the classes that come after you. We, the faculty and staff, have that same opportunity. Uncertainty is the essence of living through pandemic. None of us can predict the course of the year ahead. But if we continue to navigate that uncertain course as we have been doing, then we can be certain that this academic year will be an inspiration to those who come after us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members of senior leadership and administration, and to our incredible faculty and staff. Welcome to our new and returning students. Hello to my loving family and friends, and a special hi to my fellow classmates of 2021. Thank you all for being here today. Again, my name is Tatiana Ivy-Moyes, and I am honored to be this year's Wellesley College Government President. I would like to first acknowledge that we are all here today as a part of Wellesley College, which is located on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Massachusetts and Wampanoag peoples. I recognize the continuing presence of these Indigenous peoples, and I pay respect to past and present Indigenous elders as well. In addition, I'm taking this moment to acknowledge the history of slavery and the exploitation of Black people in the United States and their connections to the building and maintaining of institutions of higher education, including our own. To publicly recognize these things is imperative as only the first step in understanding that colonialism and exploitation have not been left in our past. Rather, they are ongoing processes, and we must be mindful in actively working against our participation in them. We are fortunate enough to be here today to celebrate the beginning of a new academic year, but allow me to take a moment to reflect on what I've learned in these last 5 months since we were all here together on campus. My hope is that sharing these thoughts will inspire you and maybe offer you some things to consider as we move into the fall. So, in 1972, the 139th meeting of the American Association for the Advancement of Science took place, and scientist Edward Norton Lorenz proposed a question. He asked, does the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil set off a tornado in Texas? Now, Dr. Lorenz was a renowned mathematician and meteorologist, and I, on the other hand, took my lab distribution requirement first year, first semester, specifically because of shadow grading, and I consider myself to probably be the furthest thing from a STEM major. But his butterfly effect still fascinates me nonetheless. Applying the butterfly effect more broadly than to mathematically predict weather patterns like Dr. Lorenz intended allows us to recognize the impact of each of our individual actions. And the butterfly effect puts into perspective just how meaningful everything we do can truly be. Wellesley's mission is to provide an excellent liberal arts education to students who will make a difference in the world. And to be honest with you, I used to be really afraid of that mission statement. Like most 18-year-old first-year students, I entered Wellesley unsure of my role in this huge world full of possibilities. And like most other 21-year-old seniors with only 1 year left to graduate, I'm still unsure. What differences will I make in this world? What will my impact be? Some of us will be the first in our families to attend or graduate from college. Some of us will follow our creative passions, expressing ourselves through the arts and inspiring another to do the same. Some of us will teach the next generation how to love learning and how to love themselves and how to love each other. Some of us will create and develop the cures to the world's most devastating diseases. Some of us will protest, organize, and some of us will spark revolutions. So I've come to realize that these differences in the world that all Wellesley students are destined to make, they'll range in size, but none will be any more or less significant. Because all of us are butterflies, with our own magnificent and one-of-a-kind set of wings. So what will the flap of yours set off? This summer, I've ultimately realized that everything we've seen in the year of 2020 has revolved around just one central theme. The only constant is change. And coming to that realization has brought me so much peace. Because if things never really stop changing, then I and you and all of us have yet to see our darkest hours, sure. But we have also yet to see our brightest days. The sun will keep rising over East Side, Beast Side, and it will keep setting over West Side, Best Side. Wellesley will have in-person LDOC concerts and senates and marmons and convocations and commencements again. Together, we will laugh again and cry again, and one day, we will hug again. So tell people you love them today, because you may not be able to tell them tomorrow. And if you're able to tell them that you love them tomorrow, then simply tell them again. Like noticing the cracks in our old tower steps, find the beauty in the broken. like making the perfect cup of coffee that gets you through writing your last final paper of the semester. Find the magic in the mundane. The discovery of both that beauty and that magic can be the inspiration you need for your wings to set off your tornado. Thank you so much for listening and for joining me in this next year. It can only be what we make of it.
Good afternoon. My name is Hope Durasmo, and I am your Chief Justice of the Honor Code for the 2020-2021 academic year. I want to start off by thanking you all for the opportunity to be here and speak, especially at the start of such a strange academic year. The word unprecedented has been used to the point of cliché over the past 6 months, and while it may be sigh-inducing to hear it again now, I do want to acknowledge that this is not the start of the academic year that we were looking for. First years and fellow seniors especially, I know that this is not how any of us wanted to begin or end our time at Wellesley. The Honor Code here is comprised of 3 values: honesty, integrity, and respect. In a normal academic year, we like to say that the Honor Code is at the heart of all academic and social life at Wellesley. While this has been true in the past, it has certainly never been more literally true than it is this year. We have an obligation to each other not just to show integrity by being academically honest in classes, but also through following public health and safety guidelines to ensure that we can live safely. Respect for one another looks like not just being able to leave your bag for 5 minutes and sigh, but working to make sure that Wellesley is as accessible as it can be, both in the short term by wearing masks in public spaces, and in the long term by working to dismantle structural inequities. Thank you for your time. Please join me, wherever you are, in the ceremonial recitation of the Honor Code. As a Wellesley College student, I will act with honesty, integrity, and respect. In making this commitment, I am accountable to the community and dedicate myself to a life of honor. And now, the program will turn to Dean Marquez for the benediction.
Dear friends, as we live into this new academic season, may we do so releasing fear and embracing hope. May we work together for a more just and peaceful world. May we live each day rooted in gratitude and kindness. May this be so, for me, for us, for all. Amen.
To alma mater, Wellesley's daughters, all together join and sing. Through all her wealth of wood and waters, let your happy voices ring. In every changing word we love her, love with towers and woods and plains. Oh, changeful sky, then blue above her, wakey birds, your chorus wake. We'll sing her praises now and ever. Let's invoke of truth and love, our heart's devotion, may it never faithless or unworthy prove. We'll give our lives and hopes to serve her, humblest, highest, noblest all. A stainless name we will